Mitchell coming off just a superb performance. He got his pocket picked, however, by another 45 Mitchell. It's Davion Mitchell. Out comes Davion Mitchell.
Sam's got to get those legs under him just a little bit more. You can see it, just a little bit of fatigue in those legs right now by the Cavs.
Powell for free.
Yeah, Powell lit us up. In the interior points in the paint. He's led both get basketball games by just Evan Mobley's point-blank dunks. So let's get back to that.
Free in the heat of the first 8 points.
Last 2 games we've had 60 points in the paint apiece. So that's our bread and butter.
That's an area where the Heat have been vulnerable as Mitchell from 15 feet out gets the Cavaliers. Certainly can live with that. Adebayo shoots threes at 32%. A steal, however, by Adebayo. Looks to go all the way, appeared to push off. Banks it up and banks it in. 5 in a row. 5 good opponents as Mitchell's shot is no good. Mobley gets there and bats it right back to Donovan. And
I haven't keeping that ball alive. Good little tip on that. That's the offensive rebound as far as the team is concerned. Nice job. Good aggressiveness.
Powell for 3. Oh boy. Here's James Harden, picked up by Pelle Larsson, steps back, and buries it 3. Boy, he closed quickly with a double. Larsson pushes off. Allow Ware with a 3. They've taken 17 shots, 13 of which have come from three-point territory.
Yeah, they put it up, man, and the Cavs have been able to slow them down a little bit, but they put it up just like that.
Here's Larsson inside. Larsson puts it up and in, and as watches Harden. Now Mitchell. Mitchell darts one inside, finds Tomlin. Tomlin take a bump from Ware. He'll float it up and float it in.
Love it. Perfect pass from Donovan Mitchell. Great catch by Naquan. That's the type of stuff, hard-hitting stuff that goes towards the rim. Maybe even get to the free throw line a little bit.
The shot clock is off. Herro steps into a 3.
It's a mental aspect of the game tonight that's most important. Got to focus on both ends of the floor. You got to be accountable. You got to like Coach Atkinson said, you got to guard your yard. Make it difficult.
Hodges spins in toward Merrill. Ware for 3. Boy, the Cavs defense did everything right. They have nailed 8 here in this first half.
Yeah, Ware has kind of moved away from playing on the interior and has stepped out and made himself a shooter. So nice shot by Ware. Knocked that down. Big 3-point shot.
Perhaps until the final closeout. Schroeder's floater is good.
Pocket gets a good-looking shot. Good look at it. That's all you can ask for.
Larsson took a nudge from Harden, who's back in the game. Wiggins digs it out, sends it back to Herro. Adebayo had a standstill 3, gives to Wiggins, who bobbled. Wiggins has to go baseline. It was a perfect 8 for 8 from the field yesterday. Has yet to take a shot in 9 minutes of play.
This is going to be his first
shot.
There's
his first.
Yeah.
It appeared that he was the first man to touch it. As Mitchell goes the other way, the Cavs won't argue as they run the floor off the turnover, and Donovan Mitchell lays it in.
Still trying to wrap my head around Adebayo scoring 83 points. I mean,
Powell. Norman Powell does not need
it up. Very underrated. Good acquisition for this Miami Heat team.
Really a great story, a late bloomer, if you will, as Ellis takes the feed from Mobley, goes right back to Evan, who puts it up and in. Gets fouled to think about.
That's incredible. Yeah, he's been remarkable and had a breakout year last season. Making that All-NBA team is a big, big deal.
Love trade for Wiggins. Played a game in wine and gold. Powell down the alley. He banks and scores as Norman Powell continues to make it look easy. He has 11 first half points. Mitchell off to Mobley. Mobley from the high post operates on Adebayo. He'll find Ellis inside as Ellis.
Well-designed play. Ended up with a layup opportunity. That's all you can ask for.
Davion Mitchell from Powell. That is triple number 13 for the visitors.
Or at least be able to match some of the consistency on offense.
Wow, Donovan hits a 3. He'd have done the job idle last night. They come in and do what they wanted to do in this first half in terms of put early pressure on the Cavaliers as Mobley finds it.
More of that activity. Cavs have a little bit more pep in their step starting out this first couple of minutes.
Powell floats and scores.
Can't let him get into that interior.
Herro together, likely because of what they might see on the defensive end of the floor as Mobley right to the basket. He'll bang it up and in, but boy, it certainly is a dynamic bunch with both Herro and Powell on the floor along with the likes of Wiggins and Adebayo.
I don't know why you wouldn't give that a hard look, man. That could be pretty dynamic. I mean, they're not super defending anyway as a team.
Adebayo with a jump by James Harden.
He's trying to draw a foul, maybe?
What a pass over to Merrill later their season was over.
Yeah, it's almost like they were out of gas when they got to the Cavs. The Cavs just absolutely bludgeoned them.
Adebayo banks and scores. The Cavs steamroll the Heat in the playoffs by 122 points in that four-game sweep. It was the largest aggregate margin of victory in NBA series history. They do have James Harden and Donovan Mitchell as Ellis lays it up and in. Boy, Ellis cracked from the wing. Harden wins the tip. Schroeder stretches and grabs that loose ball. Mitchell has to beat the shot clock. Do you believe that? A Mitchell miracle. With 2:20 remaining here in the third quarter. Harden finds Mitchell. Mitchell right through Jonas. Gets 2 feet in the paint, twirls into the youngster, and he flips it in. Donovan Mitchell now has 20.
Donovan's getting hit on every inch of his body, shooting those shots. Official's going to let him play, though. That's fine. Let him play. Nothing ticky-tack.
Hawkes drives and scores. We mentioned Hawkes leads the league in points among reserves. He has 7 here tonight. Larson swipes it hard.
Perfect. Right in the middle of that lane. Strong move. Nice job.
Bryant works around a big Bryant screen. This one back to Harden. James Harden buries a 3.
They're starting to find a nice little rhythm here.
They've been down by as many as 21. Mitchell has an extra jump here in the second half. Hey! Knocks it down.
Big shot by Donovan Mitchell. My goodness.
Mitchell works on Larson. Mitchell with a crossover. Hey! Knocks it down. Donovan Mitchell. As Jonas made a good play to keep that pass inbounds. Here's Jaime Hawkes. Hawkes spins inside, almost walked. He'll bank and score. The Cavaliers, with 2:16 to go in the second, trailed this ball game 57-36. Down 21. They've come all the way back. Keon Ellis gives the Cavaliers. Harden pushes it off to Schroeder. Schroeder, no look to Tomlin, who reverses and scores. Naquan Tomlin ties this game at 80.
He's not an all-pro in this league. He comes to play, got great confidence, gets after it. Love it.
Herro's 3 was short. Larson gets it back. Larson at 90. Hawkes. Wiggins into the paint. Now Hawkes. Back to Herro. Ellis closes out on him. Herro tried to draw a foul. That's on his numerical counterpart. And Ellis. Hawkes comes and gets it and fires it out of bounds. Larson made a good play. Ware has to hurry up to Hawkes, who just beats the shot clock with a draws a double. Back it goes to Powell. Powell late in the shot clock. Had it knocked away momentarily by Ellis, but he gets it back.
They can get rid of it. Now it's one-on-one basketball for the Heat. They're going one-on-one. Somebody's trying to find a one-on-one opportunity. Mismatch and shot. Yep. Turn and shoot a shot at the basket. Defended by Mobley as opposed to give up that 3.
Mitchell floats it up and in by Ware. Popped into the air by Larson. Larson, and it's slapped by Ellis. Dives, shovels to Ware. Ware over the timeline. Uh-oh, Adebayo ran over there.
And a 3-point play by Bam Adebayo. Well, they heat up by 12, but get another turnover. Powell waits for help and finds some on the Ware finger roll.
Cavs took a brief lead early in the fourth quarter. The Heat were able to weather the storm. Back it goes to Harden. Harden for 3. The long rebounds grabbed by Davion Mitchell. Ahead it goes to Norman Powell. 9-10, you have to win 2 to get in. 7-8, you only have to win 1 out of 2. That will do it. Here tonight, your final score.